Welcome. In this video, we're going to cover how to convert or create a Google Analytics 4 dashboard from a Google Analytics Universal Analytics dashboard in Google Data Studio. And here we have a dashboard template for the acquisition overview from Data Studio. This template is available in Data Studio, and as long as you have access to it, Data Studio, you can use this template. So just to run through this dashboard, we have our scorecards up at the top along with our filters, and then we have a few charts showing the top acquisition channels, a line chart for users versus new users over time, and then this chart which is not working or needs to be adjusted in order to properly show the trends over time for conversions. And at the bottom, this is a table showing the acquisition data, behavior data, and conversion metrics for these source medium dimensions. So we're going to take this and convert all the metrics and dimensions into elements that we can use for a Google Analytics 4 report. So I'm going to go to the top here and click on Edit so that we transition from the View mode into Edit mode. And then I'm going to add data so that we can use our Google Analytics 4 data source. Now I have it here, but if you need to add a new data source to your Google Data Studio, what you can do is click on Add Data at the top here. Allow this screen to pop up and click on Google Analytics, and then choose your account that has your Google Analytics 4 property. And in this case, we're going to use our demo account, Google Merchandise Store. And what you would do is click on Add. Once that happens, once this pop-up appears, this light box, click Add to Report. And when you click in this drop down, you see the data added here. So there's the data source. Now what we're going to do is click on each of these metrics, each of these scorecards, and click on the data source here and change it from our Universal Analytics sample data source to our GA4 Google Merchandise Store. So now all these metrics have been updated. Well, we're going to go back just so we can see what metrics we had previously. So users, sessions, bounce rate, goal completions, average time on page. And what we're going to do is change this bounce rate to engagement rate and goal completions to conversions, because those are the metrics that are available in Google Analytics 4. So we'll go back and change that, and then for this time on page, we'll see what metric we can use in order to replace that. So for this scorecard, we're going to look for engagement rate. So we'll click on this metric here and then type in engagement rate. And this is kind of the opposite of bounce rate. So bounce rate is where the user navigates to a page and only views a page and then exits the website. But engagement rate measures the users who arrive on the website and they engage with the website. They fire an event. They take an action that causes an event to fire. And then it takes that number of users or sessions and divides that by the number of total sessions. So that's our engagement rate. And then for event count, we're going to change this to conversions. That's our conversions. And this last scorecard, we'll see if we can find a metric that shows us the user engagement time. So we have user engagement here, but the thing with this is it shows us the total duration, it looks like. So instead of using this, we're going to create a field and we'll call it average engagement duration. And then in the formula, we're going to type in user engagement divided by users. Or let's try sessions. So that looks like it works, and then we're going to change this to duration. Now, this gives us the duration in seconds, it looks like. So we're going to click on apply. And it actually does convert it to minutes. But we'll see if we can average engagement. Let's shorten this to time so that we can fit it all in the screen here. Okay. So now for top acquisition channels. So right now we can't tell whether this is users or whether it's sessions. But here we have users, and then for this title, we're going to put in parentheses users. Widen this so that it can fit. Click on this title or this chart. Make sure we're in the data settings. And convert this to the appropriate data source, our GA4. And right now, this is our dimension, which converted it to session default channel grouping. So we have all these channel groups. You can change it to medium if you like, but the default channel grouping is good because it splits out channels like organic video, organic social, and if it's available, paid social. And this is new for Google Analytics 4. We'll go over to our users chart versus new users. And let's see if we can change the conversions, the data sources for both of these charts at the same time. Okay, looks like we were able to do that. And then for our metric, let's change the first one to total users. So total users and new users. We can also change it to active users. An active user is defined as users who have sessions that last 10 seconds or longer, have one or more conversion events, or they visit 2 or more pages. And then for our conversions, if we click on this chart, for this one we're using e-commerce purchases, but we can change that. You can either change the title of the chart or just change the chart to show overall conversions. And in order to show all the conversions, we're going to click on Style at the top in this right side and scroll down to left axis, delete these numbers so that they're auto adjusted, and we see our chart here with the trends over time appropriately displayed. So if we scroll down, this is our table here. Let's click on all of these metrics. Well, let's do them section by section so that we make sure we cover and appropriately convert all the metrics. So we're going to change our data source to a GA4. So sessions, users, and new users. Looks like it converted sessions, users. We'll change the middle one, the middle scorecard, from new users to active users. And then for behavior, we'll select those metrics here. Bounce rate, pages per session, and average session duration. We'll change the data source. Pages per session, bounce rate. We'll change this first scorecard to engagement rate. For our middle scorecard, which was pages per session in the Universal Analytics version, we'll look for a similar metric. Let's type in view, but it doesn't look like there's something available that we can use, so what we're going to do is click on Create Field. And we'll call this field, I don't know why it's over there, why they move that window over there. Usually they move it here, so we'll call this views per session, or you can use views per user. And in the formula area, we'll type in views divided by sessions. So the formula checks out, and we'll keep all the settings as they are. Click on Apply. And for the third scorecard, we'll use the same average engagement time so they can easily, the end users that is, can easily see those metrics in that context. So if you recall, for this formula, we used user engagement divided by sessions and changed the duration, or the type to duration. So we will create that same field, average engagement time, user engagement, divided by sessions. Change the type from number to duration. Click on apply. For this last section, for these conversion scorecards, we'll select each one of those and change the data source to GA4. And we're actually going to start with the middle scorecard and change this to conversions. And if you have an e-commerce site, you can change this to e-commerce purchases. But for the sake of the example, I'm just going to change it to conversions. And since we don't have a conversion rate metric for GA4 here, what we'll actually have to do is select conversions and then select sessions. So make sure they're selected together. Right click and choose blend data. And what this will do is blend those two metrics together and give us a conversion rate. So we can remove this first time purchasers scorecard and then replace that with our new conversions per session scorecard. I'll rename this to conversion rate. Keep all the rest of the settings the same and click on apply. And then for the last scorecard, which was goal value in the Universal Analytics version, I'll look for revenue, purchase revenue, and then adjust the numbers, the significant digits, so that it can fit. We'll just change it to 1, that way it fits better. And lastly, for this table, go back to the data section for the configuration. Well, first we'll need to change the data source to Google Analytics 4. Since this doesn't have source medium, we'll change it to channel grouping, the session default channel group. Watch the table update. And we'll give this a little bit more space so we can see more rows. Now I'm going to make sure that all the metrics in the table match up to the metrics in the scorecard. And just a note for the conversion rate, since we had to blend those two scorecards, what we're going to do is actually just create another field. So for first time purchases or purchasers, I'm going to create a field, call this conversion rate, conversions divided by sessions, and change the type from number to %. Then we'll click on apply. So that'll update that column. And I'm going to go to style, to the style section to fix the significant digits there. So that's column 7. Just going to change this to 1. And then I'm going to adjust the rest of the metrics and adjust any alignment issues so that the dashboard looks nice. So check out the website. There's a link in the description. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you in the next episode.